Happy Terry's Tuesday.
Hey, I was dancing a little there.
Yes, we saw that, Terry. That was,
I always like to dance to that music. So
that's good. We get Terry moving and grooving. Hopefully we can get our picks moving and grooving.
that's
Last night we were moving and grooving with jockey Andrew Wolfsont over here at Horse Racing Radar TV.
Yeah.
It was an interview that covered all sorts of stuff yesterday, from hawking picks as a kid at Saratoga to Bitcoin to being a jockey today, and his win yesterday beating me.
Yeah.
And you too.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised he'd been doing it for 10 years. I thought he had been doing it a lot less time, but he's really good guy. He had a lot to say, and he didn't pull back in at all, and he wasn't hesitant. So I liked his interview quite a bit.
Yes. And we debuted Sean's new haircut, as you can see.
I was going to say, yeah, I was just going to say, and I love Sean's haircut. So
I meant to joke with Sean yesterday that he went from John Belushi or Jim Belushi with the Jim Belushi haircut, to now he's Joe Girardi, the manager for the Philadelphia. I think he's the Philadelphia Phillies manager. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't really been keeping up with baseball because this horse racing stuff has been keeping me really busy. Good morning, Charles. How are you today?
Hi,
Charles says he was on that 12-1. Was it Moonbat that Andrew rode yesterday? Yeah. And I mentioned it, and I know that was the cardinal sin, as I've said many times. When if you mention a horse and you don't play the horse, you can pretty much put the L next to that horse, and it's not loser. It is what, Terry?
It's the winner.
The lock, baby. The lock.
The lock, yeah.
Yes, indeed. We're going to try to lock in some picks today. 8 races today. Looks like the weather is fair there today. They're all weather anyway, so I don't know how much that matters. And got a couple of pick fours we're going to get to, some long shots, some best bets, as well as our box it up picks. I thought yesterday for a moment I had the box it up ice cold.
Yeah.
But the one horse beat the other horse by a little bit at the wire. So, but still had it. Didn't pay as much as I had hoped when I picked my box it up horses, but the bettors must have saw what we saw. And then just a couple of horses messing up our pick fours.
Yeah, that's true.
Those damn horses.
Yeah.
So you ready for how do you pronounce this one, Terry? I'm not 100% sure.
Presque Downs. Presque Downs.
Presque?
Yeah.
Or is it Presque?
No, Presque Downs.
Presque Downs. All right. So
yeah.
Presque Downs, which is an all-weather track, as I mentioned, 8 races today. The first of which, Terry, is 1 mile on the all-weather track, claiming 62.5 for a purse of $14,000. 3 years old and up that have never won a couple of races. And if we take a look at last year at Presque Downs, 1 mile races, 71 of them, 41 of the 71 won by horses with a little bit of speed. 15 went wire to wire. There is a small inside 3 bias, Terry. And if you wear an 8 or out, which doesn't come into play today at least not in this race, there was a small penalty. So why don't you get us cracking on Terry Tuesday?
All right, number 4, no drama, and I don't think that he's going to cause any drama today because he comes in from Aqueduct to try Presque Downs for the first time, has the highest last speed rating, drops in class today, and his best all-weather track speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like number 6, Bahamian Park, a closer who ran a good second prior to his last race, and he has finished in the money 50% of the races at today's distance. And then number 2, Rayo Colorado. He is another one that comes in to try Presque Downs for the first time, drops in class, and the trainer wins 26% of the time when dropping a horse down 2 classes. He has a bullet workout on May 3rd of 36 breezing, best of 4. And then number 1, my 4th pick, El Duque. He has finished in the money 50% of the races in 2021 and tries to get his first win since 2020.
I think that might be El Duque. He was a pitcher for the New York Yankees with a really interesting delivery when he threw the ball. Yeah, it was and he was kind of a little bit of personality too. So interesting for sure. For me in the first race at Presque Downs, I'm going to start off with no drama. Something that's the way I like my life to be, Terry. No drama. Never seems to work that way. However.
I know. It's always drama.
Always. This today, the drama with with the horse racing today website, that doesn't want to work, and always something. A little bit of a headache to start the day as well. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about no drama. This one is taking a drag trot from Gulfstream Park. Has a lone win on all weather. As you mentioned, Terry did run the top last race speed figure, and also with the drop in track class, he's dropping an actual class today. Rayo Colorado is another Gulfstream Park dropper, and I like the fact that it came to Presque and put in a bullet workout, so it looks to me like it might like the Tapita up in Presque. Bahamian Park, the 6 horse, is the third choice, coming in from Mahoning Valley. He's done some of his best work at the distance. I feel like the top 2 horses to me, Terry, were the best of the 2. The next one's down kind of a little bit. I think they're like a tier 2 maybe. But at the distance, ran 8 times, has in the money 4 times, 3 seconds and a third. Good place to put him, a third. Silver Token, the 5 horse. This one's making the switch from turf to all weather. And if you look at his all weather record, you look at his turf record, it does suggest that it might take to the all weather. We've talked to some trainers and jockeys and so forth, and folks that have been around horse racing for a while. And they say some horses really like that switch and some horses don't. So
yeah,
it's but it's a switch that I've seen that works out okay usually.
That's
race number 2, Terry, on the Presque Down cards is 1 mile and 70 yards. This one is a claiming $5,000 horse race with a purse of $12,000 for 3 years old and up, which have not won a race since November 17th. They're keeping it simple at Presque. And at 1 mile and 70 yards, last meet, they ran 102 races. And you want to talk about fair, 51 horses ran from up front, speed horses, and 50 were off the pace closer. So exactly 50-50. How do you think about that?
Well, I think that's pretty about normal, I guess, for there.
Mm-hmm. And then when you look at the post positions, the win rates across from inside and outside are all pretty even. So you want to talk about a fair surface, fair distance. It's 1 mile 70 yards at Presque Downs. So that means the best horse is going to win. And who do you think the best horse is?
Number 4, Perfectly Majestic. He likes Presque Downs, finishing in the money in 4 out of 5 starts there. And he won 2 of those races. Has the highest speed rating figure at today's distance and his best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. He drops in class today. The trainer wins 26% of the time when dropping a horse down 2 classes. And then I like, as my second pick, number 1, Cluntia. He has not raced since last October at Presque Downs, where he won 2 out of 4 starts, and he drops in class today. And then I like number 2, Dahog. He drops in class today. The trainer wins 17% of the time in claiming races, and he has a really good workout of 36.3 for 3 furlongs, second best out of 8. Then I like number 3, County Court. He ran second versus similar on the dirt in his last race, and the trainer wins 17% of the time in claiming races.
So we're going to look at number 1, Clunita, as my top choice. Has 2 wins, as you mentioned, and 4 races at Presque Downs, and both of them were at today's distance. So I like the fact that he's shown well at the distance and surface, and he's also working well for his return after a little bit of time in the barn. Perfectly Majestic is my second choice. Your first choice is a Presque Down favorite for him anyway. 5 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds on the all-weather. He's fared well there too. 17 races with 5 wins, 4 seconds, and a third. This guy's dropping 2 classes, and for trainer Gerald Brooks, that is a 27% winning angle. The Hog. It sounds like a motorcycle, right?
It does.
That's how they say Harley Davidson in Chicago, because there is no there's just a in Chicago. So I'm on the Hog. Anyway, this horse has run some of its best races at Presque Downs at the distance. When he's run at Presque Downs, 1 mile and 70 yards, he's finished no more than 2.5 lengths from the winner in the last 3 at 1 mile and 70 yards at PID. And then number 3, County Court, is my 4th choice. The lone race on all weather was better than it looks like in the past performances. He had a real strong late run, finished 4th by just 3/4 of a length. I think it probably improves in his second start on the all-weather track, and hopefully gets off to a little bit of a better start. You ready for race 3?
I am.
All right, it's the first time we're going to see a sprint at Presque, 5.5 furlongs. This one's not bad. Claiming price of $30,000. Purse of only 22 grand, however. 3 years old and up, which have never won 2 races. Now, the person who sets the conditions at Presque I'm a big fan because it's really simple. The 5.5 furlongs, they ran 58 races and the previous meet, 40 of which were won by horses that like to be close to the front. 24 of the 58 went wire to wire. There is a small inside 3 bias. And again, it doesn't come into play here, but keep it in mind down the road. Fields that have 8 or more, there is a little bit of a penalty for 8 and plus. We are exactly the same here, Terry. And I have to say, that hasn't worked out well for us lately.
No, it hasn't, but it will today. I've got a good feeling, because I like the number 3. It's my first pick, Del Griffith. He has not run since August, but he was going against a lot tougher competition, and now he's going against a lot easier. So he has the highest last speed rating. His best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 2, Woodchuck is my second pick.
How much wood can a woodchuck chuck?
Yeah, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Could a woodchuck chuck?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he ran second versus Tupper in his last race, only losing by a nose. Drops in class today and can improve while returning to a sprint. And then number 5, Declared. He ran second in his last race in October, and the trainer wins 66% of the time in the first race after a claim. And then number 4, Punks. He drops in class today.
Those are all the people on your lawn, Terry. They're all punks.
That's right. He drops in class today. The Turner wins 18% of the time in claiming races, and he has several good workouts in a row.
Well, we like him in the same order, maybe a little different reasons. The 3-horse, Del Griffith, last ran in August, but here we have the Eddie C angle. 2 workouts back, a bullet workout, then follow it up with a maintenance, and then off to the track. So I expect Del Griffith to be ready to run. Woodchuck can chuck some wood, but he hasn't been running late, hasn't run since October, but does have 16 furlongs of workouts since March 31st, and most of them are solid. And there was a bullet workout 3 back, so I don't know what kind of angle that is. Maybe the Eddie D angle. Number 4, Declared, another that's been on the sidelines since October, but this one has run well off breaks. And then finally, number 4, Punks. This one's dropping in from Gulfstream Park and is ridden by a good friend of the show, Willie Martinez, who I have to say looks great in horse racing today gear, Terry.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you seen it? He was wearing it in Italy with his wife.
Yeah,
Jamie,
I saw
who's
that.
Another great friend of the show. Yeah. There was this magnificent building behind them. I don't have the picture in front of me right now, but everybody was looking at the shirt and not the building.
That's right. You could tell.
You can absolutely tell. They were surrounded. They were like rock stars.
Mm-hmm.
So race number 4, this is your box it up, Terry. It's 1 mile on the all-weather. We talked about that a little bit already. Maiden $32,000 for 3-year-old maidens and up. And a box it up is a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box, 4 horses. Terry, tell us why you put Pizza Charlie, Book of Delancey, I guess. Jojo Hands and Tizig Giant as your box it up.
Well, I like Pizza Charlie. The number 4 is my first pick. He finished 3rd in his last 3 races, including the last race, which was on a dirt at today's distance. So he has the highest last race speed rating, and the trainer wins 18% of the time in routes. Then I like number 2, Book of Delancey. He has finished in the money in the last 6 races, running 3rd versus similar in his last race. And number 3, Jojo Hands. He finished 3rd versus similar on the turf in his last race, and the trainer wins 18% of the races in the horse's second race off a layoff. And then number 1 is my 4th pick, Tizza Giant. He drops in class today. The trainer wins 23% of the races on all-weather tracks, and his best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters.
I got some bad news for you for your box it up, Terry.
What happened? Scratch?
No, look at my first pick.
Oh, yeah. It's one horse I don't have.
The 6 horse. So Dolan's Lad is my long shot pick of the day today. It is a first-time starter in here, Terry.
Yeah.
So, you're probably thinking, okay, why in the world did he put this first-time starter in there? But that 9 horse yesterday. But what fascinates me about Dolan's Lab is that the horse is a $210,000 horse.
Yes, yeah.
And a $210,000 horse debuting at Presque,
Yeah.
which makes me think, so when I looked at the cost of all the other horses combined in the race, it's about twice as expensive, maybe even 3 times more expensive than every other horse in the field.
Well, yeah, and he's got that great sire, Pirate of the Nile. But
Mm.
I was a little afraid of this because they're doing it here and they're not.
That's why I put a question mark in my comments. I'm like, okay, why is a $210,000 horse debuting here? But
Yeah.
It's debuting here, and maybe the trainer picked this spot because he felt like it could win here and collect that money to pay for the next year's worth of barn and hay and vets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I like Pizza Charlie. After that, I love pizza, Terry. That's my favorite food. I can eat pepperoni pizza every day. What pizza could you eat every day?
And the Hawaiian pizza, ham and I know you don't like it. I don't like pepperoni. It's too spicy for me.
I don't like I can take the ham, but I don't get the cooked pineapple.
Well, you know what
it doesn't work for me.
I like ham, mushrooms, and well, of course.
Now we're not talking about like the hallucinogenic mushroom.
No. Right. Olives too.
Although I wonder sometimes with your picks.
Well, I don't know. We'll talk about my picks here pretty soon. So,
all right. So in any case, yes, the key horse is the 1 in race number 4 for Charles. I think you'll find out later on. We don't have the 1 horse there. So
I do.
You do. I have him 2 in the back end.
Yeah.
So behind my long shot, Pizza Charlie comes in from Oaklawn. Track dropper, obviously, was better last time out with the 2 and 4 furlong numbers. Should be a little bit better in a third off the break. Number 3, JoJo's Hands, just missed last time out at Tampa Turf. Expecting to be better in a second run off the bench. And I do have Tis a Giant, and I was thinking about where putting this one. I had it as high as second. And I put it in 4th. It is dropping from Turfway Park, something you mentioned. Charles, keep an eye out for those Turfway Park droppers. Mm-hmm. And he did show some better interest in the last race in the 4 furlong numbers and the late pace numbers. And that was the first time that horse tried all weather. So I think maybe you can see some improvement on the all weather from Tis a Giant.
That's right.
Race number 5, Terry, is your best bet. But before we get to that best bet, let's talk about another best bet at Parx today. How did your best bet do yesterday first?
Well, I had a hat trick. I won my best bet, again yesterday for the 3rd day in a row. Paid $620, $440, and $320. Name was Latigo. And then my second pick ran 3rd, paid $320. Unfortunately, I didn't get the second in there. But this month so far, we're halfway through the month. I've won 50%. My first picks won 50% of the time, ran second 35% of the time, and third 7% of the time. So I've got almost a 93% of the time I've been in the money with my first pick.
So who's your first pick today at Parx, race number 6?
Yeah, I like number 6, Off the Meds. He won his last race at Parx Racing at today's distance and likes this track as he's finished in the money 63% of the time in the races, and he's won 18% of those races.
So you're always picking horses that are named after me.
That's right, because you're off the med. But here's one. Number 1 is my second pick, which is named after me, Bellerific. He won his last race at Parx Racing.
That's not what it says there, but all right. It says Larific, but you must have missed something when you typed that in.
I must have, yeah. Yeah, he won his last race at Parx Racing and received the highest last race speed rating. And then number 7, Spring Emperor. He ran 4th in his last race after being bumped at the start, drops in the class today, and then has a trainer-jockey combination who in the last 14 days has been in the money 3 out of 3 races, winning 2 of those races.
So in addition to Terry's best bets over at horseracingtoday.net, we launched a new thing today called Ask Charles. And Charles Trent is kind enough to ask. He's been in the business for, 37 years, been a trainer, been an owner. Now he's a bloodstock agent. It's basically our educational section of horse racing. So you can ask Charles any question you want about horse racing. You can do that. His email is at the bottom. You'll see it down here at bigcasinoracing@gmail.com. Any questions that you have about horse racing, make sure you get them off to Charles. Take a look at some of the questions today. There might be some stuff in there that you find interesting, like I did as well. So Dan M asked about wearing blinkers and why it has to be approved by the stewards. That's the first question, and he goes through the reasons why, and basically everything has to be approved by the stewards. Looks to me like the answer to that question. Race number 5, Terry, is the fearful race of death because, well, why is it the fearful race of death?
Because it ends the first pick 4, the early pick 4, and it starts the late pick 4. So,
which scares the hell out of me, but it doesn't scare you because this is your best bet of the day.
That's right. And my best bet of the day in this race is the number 1 horse, Spirit Animal. You know, he's tried 6 different racetracks in a row. And now the 7th will be Presque Downs. Will he finally get a win? He has the highest last race speed rating, drops in class today, and the trainer wins 17% of the time in a claiming race. And I think he will get the win.
Number 5, you wouldn't make him your best bet. I mean, it stands to reason.
Yeah. Number 5, Captain Mad Jack is my second pick. He finished 3rd in his last race, and the trainer wins 18% of the time in claiming races. And then number 6, Same. He finished 3rd in his only race at Presque Downs and has improved his speed rating in each of the last 4 racings. And then number 3 is my 4th pick, Smoky Blues. The trainer wins 40% of the races when his entry is in the 2nd race off a layoff. And Smoky Blue best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has 2 bullet workouts in a row.
Yes, he's getting ready to run on that Presque Downs all-weather track in the 6 furlong, claiming $20,000 race with a purse of $24,000 for 3-year-olds and up. Man, I love the conditions at this place. I'm going to start off with that Smoky Blues as a horse for the PID course. Okay. 7 wins in 12 races. He's run 30 races elsewhere and only has 5 wins, so clearly likes the course. Spirit Animal did run the top last race speed figure, your best bet, and dropping in class. Does have a bullet workout in its last workout, so that tells me that the horse is ready to go. This will be the first on all weather, but it's also dropping a track dropper as well. So a lot of question marks there, but the bullet kind of is encouraging. Same, 4 consecutive speed figure increases for the 6 horse. Looks to me like it's been facing tougher competition. And the only race that it tried at Presque Downs finished 3rd, but only by a length. So maybe it does like the course as well. And then finally, number 4, Gins and Tins is a Gulfstream track dropper. Did show some better early pace last time out for the first half of a mile. That was its first try on an all-weather track, and I expect it'll likely do better the second time around on the synthetic surface. And today, hopefully, we can do better, at least in this last leg. I mean, I made it through the first 3 legs yesterday in my hot dog before getting knocked out in the final leg. So let's see if we can get through all 4 today in the hot dog. Terry's going to stake his claim. He's going to do everything he can do to get to the last leg, only to get beat by the 3 horse.
That could be happening. Well, yesterday, I missed that first leg, but then I had the last 3 legs. So if we combined our tickets, we would have had that pick 4. So anyway, I like, I'm going to spread out with 4 horses in the 2nd, then come with 2 horses in the 3rd, and then I'm going to use 5 horses in that 4th, which I think is kind of a wide open race. And I'm going to take my best bet of the day and single it in the 5th.
He's going to solo him up. He's going to live and die on his best bet of the day. I went 2 by 3 by 3 by 2. I really feel like in this race number 2, the 1 and the 4 are the best 2 horses. I feel the same way in race number 5, that the 3 and the 1 kind of separated from the rest of the pack. And I'm hoping to maybe catch a little bit of value in the middle so that we can turn that $18 ticket into something that's reasonable for a little bit later on the day when we look at my box it up, Terry.
All right.
So we're off to race number 6. I mean, you did the race of death with just 1 horse. That takes some courage, Terry.
It does, yeah.
Yes, indeed. You are a courageous man.
I am.
Race number 6 is, well, you have to be to deal with me all day, every day.
That's right. I have I really have to be courageous for that.
Thick skin like leather.
Yep.
5.5 furlongs. This one is $34,000 allowance race for registered Pennsylvania bred fillies and mares that are 3 years old and up, which have never won a race other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or which have never won 2 races. I think this is the first time we saw 5.5 furlongs. No, I don't think so. It's the second time. But 58 races, 40 of which won by speed, 24 went wire to wire. There is a small inside 3 bias, and you are going to start with Cinco de Mandy.
That's right. And this is the first of 3 races in a row for the females. Number 5 is my first pick, Cinco de Mandy. She finished third versus similar in her last race, may improve at the shorter distance, and her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. She has 2 bullet workouts in a row. Then number 1, is that your Harley? I guess the Bog wants to know
The
that.
Hog
or
wants
the
to know
Hog,
that
yeah.
question, yes.
Yeah, she finished 4th in her last race, having some trouble during the race, and the trainer wins 20% of the time in all-weather starts and all-weather surface starts. And then number 4, which is my third pick, Brooklyn Surprise. Her early speed style, running style will help her chances, and she may improve because it's a shorter distance this time. And then number 3, Straight Madness. You know, she's finished in the money in 12 out of 18 races during her career, winning 7 of those races, and the distance will not be a problem.
So for me in race number 6, I'm going to go with Straight Madness. Again, another horse named after me. And yet another horse that seems to like, and you know, one of the things I like to focus on horses, especially at these all-weather tracks, are horses for courses. If some horses take to the all-weather like Woodbine or Turfway, and they just don't run they don't run well anywhere else, or even Golden Gate. I think you see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one at Presque has run 18 times, managed to bring home the big check in 7 of the 18. And then you throw the horse at any other track, 25 times the horse has run, only managed to collect the big check 2 times. And you got some good works getting ready for Straight Madness. Is that your Harley? This is another one of those horses with the Eddie C angle, had a bullet workout, 2 workouts back, a little bit of one that just to kind of keep the sharpness in between, and then goes to the track today. Number 5, your first pick, my third pick, Cinco de Mandy. This is one that I expect to be on the gas once the gates open and stay on the gas all the way to the finish line, and does have 2 bullet workouts in her last 2 workouts, both of which were at Presque Downs. So it looks to me like a fan of the all-weather as well. And then number 6, Two Docs Roadster, just missed at this level way back in October at the same track, same level. So first off the break after running on Gulfstream Park Tepida, does have a bullet workout of 46 and 3 at Presque Isle. That was on Friday, May 13th, and that was the fastest of 46 workouts. So perhaps you'll see that carry over from the driving range to the golf course. Race number 7 is my box it up, Terry, and it's a 6 furlong race. As we mentioned on 6 furlong races, they ran 187 of them, 103 won by speed. 58 went wire to wire. There is a small inside out. There's the only race on the card, too, Terry, that had any scratches today. So that made our preparation a little bit easier.
Yeah, there were actually 3 scratches and knocked my top 2 picks out. But anyway, I like number 2, Tactical Pajamas, as my first pick. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park, receiving the highest last speed rating, and her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 7 is State Crown. She ran second on the turf in her last race at Laurel, and the trainer wins 24% of the time when going from a turf to an all-weather surface with his entries. And then number 4, Pepper. She has finished in the money in 4 out of 6 races in 2021, winning one of the races, and the trainer wins 23% of the time when bringing a horse back after being off for 90 plus days. Then number 1, Bourbon Gals, my 4th pick. She has finished in the money in 100% of the races at Presque Downs, and the trainer wins 57% of the time in races that he enters a horse in.
So for me, this is my box it up, Terry. Again, we put 4 horses together in an exacta box, a trifecta box, and a superfecta box. I like number 2, Tactical Pajamas. I guess those are ones that you see people wearing off to the stores nowadays. What do you think about that? People going out like in their pajamas and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like it myself.
It's kind of, I mean, it's become a more casual world for sure. But anyway,
Yeah.
Tactical Pajamas did run the top last race speed figure. It does like the all-weather track as well, Terry. Ran on it 9 times so far, managed to bring home the W in 5 of them with a third in there. And last time out did show some really strong late pace numbers. and I expect the horse will pick up its performance a little bit more in its third start off the bench. Number 7 is Stay Crown. This one is flipping from turf to all weather. That's a 24% winner for trainer Michael Trombetta. This horse has run at Presque Downs just once, visited the winner's circle in that race, and has been on the synthetic surface 3 times and managed to find the winner's circle in 2 out of 3. Pepper, this horse is another one of those horses for the course. In the money, 11 of 13 races at Presque Downs. It's been off since October, so a little bit of an extended sideline break here. But the last time it had the same sort of layoff, so last year from the end of the previous year's meet to the start of the previous year's meet, I finished second by a length. And then finally, number 5, Dana's Beauty. This one's been facing much tougher competition at Gulfstream Park and Tampa Bay Downs. And it goes back to Presque Isle, where it's run 9 times with 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds. So it's looking to break that 2-2-2 tie in my box it up for the day. Tonight, Terry, I know we talked a little bit at the start about Andrew Wolfson being our guest last night. Mm-hmm. Tonight, we have on another guest on our horse racing Horse Center show with Sean and I. Tonight, our guest is going to be Aaron West, and Sean says he's going to get him to dance.
Oh, wow.
About that?
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So right now he's winning at a little bit under 22%, Sean says, and it should be another fun show. That'll start at 8:00 this evening. If you have any questions for Aaron West, and anytime I hear the name Aaron West, I think of Adam West, right?
That's right. Yeah.
The old Batman.
Yeah. Kapow.
Kapow. Boom. All that kind of
With
stuff.
With Robin.
Right? Yes, indeed. And we're also going to be joined tonight by another individual who does some, and I forget, the name escapes me at the moment, so you'll forgive me for that. But he does some of like the virtual horse racing online. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that this evening as well, instead of covering the news. So that should be a big positive there, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Charles says he likes the 6 to win race number 7, Terry. And
okay.
Unfortunately, neither one of us have the 6 horse.
Well, you wait until you see my prime rib.
Well, you have him there, huh?
Yep.
All right. Let's go off to the last race, Terry. That's race number 8. Well, we have the prime rib. We're apparently you have the 6 horse in there. 5.5 furlongs on the all-weather, claiming $5,000. Purse of $12,000. Fillies and mares, 3 years old. They have not run a race or 2 races in 21 or 22, or have not won a race since May 17th, 2021, so a year ago. This is the battle of the long shot versus the best bet. So you tell me first why the 7 is your long shot pick. I'll tell you why the 4 is my best bet, and then you'll know why you should take the 4 over the 7.
All right. Well, I like the number 7 as my long shot, Emerald Citadel. You know, she won her last race at Presque Downs last October, and she's been working out in preparation for this race. So,
all right, so
right ahead.
Charles is going to like this one because Lawn Dart was better across the board in its last race at Turfway Park. When Charles said, keep an eye on those Turfway invaders. So we have Lawn Dart as a Turfway invader and as the best bet of the day. This one I expect will continue to be sharp, as it had a nice bullet workout on May the 6th. And that's why Lawn Dart is going to take away Emerald Citadel as your long shot. Fill us in on your other 3.
All right. I like number 5 is my second pick, D-Dog. She won her last race at Tampa Bay Downs and now comes to Presque Downs to try and win here for the first time. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the trainer wins 40% of the time when a horse starts with him the first time. So anyway, and then I like as my third pick, number 9, Data Princess. She won her last race at Mountaineer and got the highest last speed rating, and now comes to try Presque Downs for the first time. And then I like your pick, number 4, Lawn Dart. She finished, her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters, and the trainer wins 19% of the time in claiming races, and this horse has a good workout on May 6th.
So D-Dog is my second selection. First start off the claim for trainer Leland Hayes, who's only claimed, it looks like, about 15 horses so far this year. 6 of them managed to win. and a little bit of a drop here off the claim as well, but purse money wise, really not that big of a drop. So I don't view it as a suspicious drop. Dance or stroll, that's what Terry does. He dances while he's strolling before the show starts and the music is blaring. This is another horse for the Presque Isle Downs course. He has 12 wins in 31 races. He's run 32 races elsewhere and managed to win just 3 times. And then finally, your long shot is my 4th pick, Emerald Citadel. Has better Presque Isle numbers and better all-weather numbers than the rest of the field. That wraps up our picks for the day, Terry, but it doesn't wrap up our prime rib, as you mentioned, because you want to surprise Charles with your prime rib. And you don't even have the 6 horse in that race, Terry.
Oh, I don't.
No.
Oh,
and that's in race number 7.
Yeah, you're right.
You built him up just to knock him down.
Knock him right down. I looked at the wrong race there. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, I like 3 horses in that first leg. I'm not just going to single the one like I did in the end of the last because I want to try to get through this. And then I like 4 horses with 3, then with 5 horses.
Yeah, I just like the 4-4-4-3. To me, that's I look at that last race, and I feel like the 4, the 5, and the 1 are the best 3 horses, and you're likely to find the winner out of that one. Let's see here. Charles says he likes the D-Dog trainer 40% off the claim. Yes, indeed. And Charles, I mean, I just like that, Terry, to let you down, to build you up and let you down, right?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll have to talk to Honey Bunny about that.
I will, yeah. I should have put my glasses on. I didn't put my glasses on, and there you go. Oh, I see what I did. Yeah, I looked at the wrong race and put the wrong one in there. So,
all right. I love a man who can admit it when he made a mistake.
Yep.
So
maybe I should put the 6 in there and take one of those horses out in that last race, huh?
Worked out well for you last time you did something like that.
You did, yeah. So that was in the 7th race. You liked the 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But I'm not going to change that right now.
No, you don't have to. But when I bet it today, that's what I'm going to do.
So again, here are our full card picks at Presque Isle Downs from top to bottom. And then Terry and we went ahead and put together our hot dog pick 4s for races 2, 3, 4, and 5. Terry showing some courage in the race of death with singling the 1. I didn't have such strength today, so I went with the 3 and the 1 in the back end because I do feel like the 3 is the better horse there. And then we have our prime rib pick 4s. Terry does not single the 1 in the race of death, being the 5 that connects the first pick 4 to the second pick 4. Our box it ups, Terry. Yours is in race number 4. Mine's in race number 7. Again, 4 horses with a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. I almost ice cold mine yesterday, hoping to ice cold both of us today, Terry.
That'd be very cool. Yeah,
indeed, for sure. Any final thoughts? Oh, one last thing today, Terry, before we move off to your final thoughts of the day. Because Terry won't be here tomorrow or Thursday or next Monday because he's off on a little bit of vacation again. But if you're not vacationing and you're at the track today and you're betting at your computer and you're going to do some action at Louisiana Downs, LA Downs, head over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Please, there's a link in the description on YouTube. There's a link in the description at Facebook. Use that or use any link over at horseracingtoday.net. Click on LA Downs and you will find that Speedy G is the best bet in race number 1, followed by Rodeza Flash at 12-1. So maybe get a nice little exacta there.
You could, yeah.
And then, of course, if they win or any of them win, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Hit on that HRT gear. You can get this beautiful number 6 shirt. I do get a lot of compliments when I wear it. Mostly like, what is that? For folks who are not familiar with horse racing.
Yeah. The last person was a girl that in a grocery store asked me, what is that? And I said, oh, it's the numbers of the horses they're on their blankets when their post positions and that. And she says, I don't even know what you're talking about. So she said, but I like the shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like them as well. I'm going to have some new designs up shortly. So probably after we get done with all the Preakness stuff, I've been having some stuff in my mind. So we'll put hopefully some nice things out there. If you like what you saw today, like Liam, TM Hook, and then Edith Del Carmen Valdez Mendez, they gave us thumbs up on Facebook. If you like what you saw, please do like them. Give us a thumbs up. Same thing while you're on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. The better our ratio, the higher we go in their algorithms. Of course, you can do that. Subscribe while you're on YouTube. for Horse Racing Radar TV. Hit the bell so when we go live, you know. And then follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And our Swiss Army Sean will keep you up to date with all sorts of things on our social sites. All right, Terry, any final thoughts before you escape out of here for a couple of days?
Yeah, thanks to Charles for wishing me a good vacation. And I hope whoever's going to play the Black Eyed Susan Day and the Preakness Day does a really good job and wins. And I hope you give your loved ones a hug and tell them how you feel, as long as it's positive. And just have a great rest of the week, because I plan to.
Yes, and we will have a wagering guide for the 2 days at Pimlico that should be out hopefully tomorrow, maybe Thursday at the latest. We'll keep you up to speed with that. Tomorrow, Jared will fill in at 12 o'clock. We will go over Horseshoe Indianapolis. That actually has 4, I think, $100,000 stakes races tomorrow. So it should be a really good card at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Not quite sure what we're going to do on Thursday, if we're going to preview Pimlico or we're going to go with Jared's hometown track. Thursday night, it looks like we're going to have on Todd Schrupp as our guest for the Preakness preview. So make sure you tune in for that. That'll be 9:30 p.m. Eastern until we get together again. And all of our picks, whether they're at Presque Downs, you're at Parx, where Terry's best bet is, or just your day in general. We hope that it ends up in our good friend Jay Marco's
Winner's Circle.
Yes, indeed. Have a fantastic Terry Tuesday.
Bye-bye.